Ladies and gentlemen, welcome everyone. I am Dr. Roland A. Drolet, PhD in Biomedical Engineering from the University of Toronto, 1971. I am the developer and inventor of the RUMART PEM system that has helped over 1 million people all over the world who were suffering from all kinds of health problems. Today I'm with my son, François Drolet, gold medalist, Olympic gold medalist in Nagano, Japan, in short track speed skating. Introducing a few members of our team. I am Dr. Drolet of Quebec City with an engineering physics degree, master and PhD in biomedical engineering. And I just want to mention our team today. Present here, Mr. Denis Carrier, who has been part of the team since 1980. François, who is part of the team for 43 years since he is born, really. And so today I'm going to have a special introduction, pretending or just imagining that we are like a child who is asking existential question to their father or to their parents. And this is some of the things that happened when I was 5. I will talk a little bit about it after. But when François was 5, he asked me, Dad, I said, just call me Dad. He asked me, Dad, what happens when we are dead? Because he was 5, and at 5 we are beginning to wonder what happens when after you see dead people, what happens then. So I told him, I remember that when I was 5, I had asked a question to my mother, and she answered by saying, I don't want to answer it yourself, because you have the age of reasoning, you are 5. So my question must have been too much for her to answer. But then I saw a number of things asking her, what does it mean to have the age of reasoning? And then she answered that it means that, I said, does it mean that I can be right sometime? I can decide what happens? She said, sure, you can always be right, if only you trust your inner little voice, as it is said in thousands of books today. But she said, if you listen to your inner little voice, you are always right, no matter what others think. So I thought this was the most wonderful thing that I heard at that time. And I asked her a few questions then about heaven and hell. And she said, well, that is your problem. Depending on how you behave, you can be in heaven or in hell while you are living. It just depends how you behave. And then I asked her why people, older people, when they are 70 or some age that I can show now, why do they wish them paradise after death? I thought, I am 5. So what I'm interested in is to have some paradise, some little bits of paradise while I am living. And when I will be 70 or something, then I will think after. So anyway, I come back to what François asked me. He asked me, what happens when we're dead? So I said, listen, I could tell you so many things from the books I read and what I heard from my parents, from the priests and all that. But really what I would be most interested to know is what you think happens when we die. So then I look at you, and at 5 you look at me, and you took a few seconds and you said, well, it's simple. When we go to sleep at night, we fall into sleep and we never wake up. That's it. So I thought it was the most simple and interesting things I heard at that time, because it was so simple and not painful. It was going in peace to something else, whatever it is. So recently when I was reading about the thoughts and meditation of the Dalai Lama for the year 2016, he was mentioning that when he sees a child, he thinks that it is his own child, in the sense that he decides to take care of him as his own. And he's not just saying words, because he took responsibility with his sister to take charge of about 10,000 Tibetan children, to raise them, to educate them, and all he asks in return is that they share their knowledge with the rest of the people on this planet. So that's about it. So I want to thank you, François, for demystifying death for me, because I was wondering as you were wondering, and when you said you just fall asleep and you never wake up, that's it. So this is just to show you that there are simple ways to look at things and there are complicated ways. And also that we are responsible for the way we take what is said to us or what is done to us. It's not what is done to us that is really bad or severe or dangerous, but it's how we take it. If we take it cool, with a calm, then it could be just a way of learning to go through this with peace. Just like dying without pain, you know? You don't have to be in pain. But anyway, so that's about it for this initial presentation. I want to mention also Joseanne. We don't see her now, but she will be here in a few moments. And I will mention something that happened when she was 5, and that taught me a lesson too. And I was very happy that I had some genes of sports people, because I think I could have been to the hospital after what happened with Joseanne. But I will talk about it when she's there. Now I want to come back to the general subject of today. This series, the B series that I call a video clip, it's entitled The Scientific Philosophy of Life. And I gave a few examples of what I mean by philosophy, asking questions, and not pretending that you have all the answer, and listening, and to be open. And one of the things the Dalai Lama mentioned about children, he said, I like very much to meet children. And he said, one of the reasons is that I realized they are more open to learning and they are much more flexible than adults are. So today I pretend that we have the openness and the flexibility of children, because they are open to anything that can be told to them. But as adults, we have to realize that this could be so important. What we say could change the life of somebody. For instance, my father mentioned that if we wanted to do something that is going to be known in the country or in the world, you are going to have to learn English. And living in Quebec City was not standard. But he was speaking a few words in English to us just to mention that. And also, one bad thing that I think he did is to vote for John Diefenbaker. But my mother was voting Liberal, so to annihilate his vote. So anyway, that simplifies what I think about politics, you know. So anyway, there is a second title there. François, you can go a little, yeah, to see it and to remain in the... So here I just mentioned the AS9 to the power 9 connection of humanity. This is just an idea. I talked about this in a book written in 1999 that's available in English on the Rodrol.org website. And AS9 connection of humanity simply starts from the idea of a simple mathematical equation to show humanity and to show multi-level teaching of what we know to humanity. So A would be, let's say, 8 S7 to the power 9. So 8 times 7 to the power 9, it makes about 323 million people. That's about 1/22 or 1/22 people in a humanity of over 7 billion people. So this there is just the idea that I had simply was that suppose that here we have 8 people that behave like you know, they can be good to other people and they want to realize heaven on earth. You know, it starts from the way they behave. But here the 7 to the power 9 is like, I have the idea that there are people closer to us. So if we accept the responsibility to help at least 7 people around us, like special people for us, it could be our own family, blood family, it could be friends, but then 7 people, that means that we could give some special time to each of these 7 people, one per day for 7 days. Okay, so they are really special. You talk to them, you meet them, or whatever. But the idea then is that all these people, you transmit what you know because you really want to help all sensitive beings to become what is called a Buddha. I will talk about it a little later, when I will talk about the 18 attributes or unshared attributes of a Buddha, according to Jeffrey Hopkins, who has been translating the Dalai Lama for at least 10 years, and he has written numerous books. And so I'm going to go in more details about that, because what is a Buddha? Say, we all wonder, and there are some complicated definition and many bodies and emanation and so on and so forth, but I'm going to try to give you simple explanation of these 18 unshared attributes of Buddhas.
Okay.
Why unshared? I wonder, but I realized when I thought about it, oh yes, that's something. So then I come back to this S to the 9 power, that the people that you are close to you, if you teach them what you know and you make it in practice, because the best form of teaching is by experience, to show by your action. We used to say in the Bibles that you judge a tree by the fruits, and that's about it. So actually, my idea is that if you are these 7 people near you, you share what you know, and you really inspire them, and you, with time, they will want to share this with other people who are close to them. So my suggestion there is very simple. is that each of these 7 people do the same with 7 people near them. And this is very much beyond this idea of family of blood, because it could be your spiritual family has not much to do with the family of blood. It could happen to be, but it's different worlds. So these 7 people, if you are honest and you share and you are patient and you demonstrate that you are serious about helping them to be more and more happy with time, they will want to do the same for people around them. But then you are going to inspire them with time that their people do the same to the next level. And suppose that it takes 1 year or 2 years to help the people, the 7 people you are there, so that they are each 7 other people, then that means that to the power 9 would be just 18 years. And then you would cover these really network of people, I would say tight network of influencing people towards the good and the best of humanity. Then this spreads, and it has nothing to do with dogma, but it is from your being, what you believe in, and what you really integrated in your life, and you want to show it. And if you just want to be happy for yourself and neglect the fact that your happiness is function of the happiness of the people living around you and wherever you meet other people. So then me, myself, and I, this is simply the beginning, in the sense that if you are not in peace and you are not happy with yourself, it's hard to share what you don't have. Sure. Okay? So the idea there is that even if you would take 2 years to help 7 people that you choose, a lot of people want to talk to you. Like now I have people who talk to me in different countries, and I realize when I talk to them after 1 minute or 2 that they may be more important to understand what I want to share than the people I'm living with. And then there is a quality in Buddhism that we call equanimity. So this is one of the hard ones to integrate, because it means to behave the same way with everybody. Whether it's your mother, your parents, your children, other people. It's easy to say, but it's not so easy to do. But when you try to do that, you realize that your landlord could be your father, and your other people you meet on the street could be your mother. And so anyway, then this completes this idea of connection of humanity. This is what I call a spiritual connection. And of course, I'm some kind of mathematician, physicist, and I think that these concepts, simple concepts, can help giving ourselves a framework to do whatever we do in life. So this is just that suggestion. So that's the end of this clip. Thank you for your attention. I hope you enjoyed it. And please keep smiling till the next clip.